Well, it looks like a photo finish at the box office, and I can't tell you that I'm surprised. There was a new entry, a surprise entry in the field, and boy, did it make some waves. Let's talk about it. Here we go. Now, before we get started, just a real quick reminder, I'm trying to get to 50K, and I need your help to do that, so do me a small favor and double check you're still subscribed to the channel. If not, hit that red subscribe button, turn it to gray, turn on all notifications on the notification bell, and get ready to enjoy a full week's worth of entertainment and information, because that's what I do. Now, let's jump into the box office, as it was a photo finish, as I said before, in a way that I wasn't expecting. Starting off with this week's New York prediction from the New York Post, Weapons is still number one at the box office for a third Friday since opening. And of course, just measuring Friday, you'd think that this was going to be a winner. But if you also looked at Friday, you'd realize that one of these films in the top five fell off a ton and only earned just a little over $1 million. But for the third Friday in a row, Weapons still number one at the box office at $4.67 million. Not too bad. And if you look at the numbers, they stayed pretty consistent. The film is slated to enjoy a $15 million three-day weekend, which means it's going to fall off a bit, and it did. On Thursday, it actually crossed the $100 million mark domestically, which is huge because the film only cost $38 million to produce and probably only took another 12 in total ads and promotions. So I think this film is already on the moneymaker list, and considering that the international take was pretty significant as well. But we have to move on and talk about the new contender that a lot of you seem to love.
Yeah, this plane's trashed.
That's right, K-pop Demon Hunter is in there. That's right, the Netflix surprise led with an estimated $18 million debut. Now, Weapons stuck around at $15.6 million, but this was quite the surprise considering the limited amount of exposure it had, and I believe only 1,700 theaters. So if you can appreciate the fact that Variety reports Netflix appears to be number one in the North American box office charts, K-pop Demon Hunter's sing-along version, mind you, I wouldn't go to one of these because I couldn't hear a bunch of people singing out of tune, but the animated musical is estimated to have earned $18 million to $20 million on Saturday and Sunday. In fact, I think it's going to fit kind of firmly in between those two numbers.
It's time.
Weapons number climbed a bit to $15.6 million from 3,631 theaters. Now, mind you, 1,700 screens for K-pop Demon Hunters isn't a lot. That's a very small number of locations and very few opportunities to earn the maximum amount. And in 1,700 screens, could you imagine if this thing released in theaters? It'd be top of the charts. Or maybe it was the exposure on Netflix that got it to this popularity. Regardless, let's take a look at one of the films we were expecting to fail in the Fantastic Four. Because as you can see, Cosmic Book Movie thinks that it's holding up well at the domestic box office, which we all know is a bologna sausage. Despite the perception that Fantastic Four First Steps underperformed at the box office, it's not perception, it's the truth. It has proved to have stronger legs domestically than many expected. Oh, really? According to the latest updates, the new big screen outing for Marvel First Family took 1.6 million in on Friday. 1.6 million. Do tell. A 35.9% drop from its last week's performance, and it looks to finish its domestic run around 275 million, thinking that it'll pass 500 million worldwide, which I'm not sure I agree with, but then going on to say that it might make money is absolutely insane. And really bad news for a new entry this weekend if you look at Ethan Coen's Honey Don't. It was underwhelming, to say the least. Box office debut was, well, better than the last movie outing. Honey Don't is set for an underwhelming debut. Now, mind you, Coen, I would have expected more from, but at the same time, what was he really given to work with? Uh-oh, the new movie was directed by Ethan Coen from a screenplay that he co-wrote with Trisha Cook. Was Trisha Cook the factor? I don't know. But the movie is a follow-up to the 2024 Drive Away Dolls, which a lot of people loved. Well, a lot of Hollywood people loved, and is part of this lesbian B-movie trilogy, which, is that a thing? Per Variety, as of Sunday morning, Honey Don't projected to close out its opening weekend with a three-day total of only $3 million in domestic box office. I'm not surprised at all. In fact, I'm surprised it finished this much. In fact, its premiere position was in 8th place. Not a great way to start your run. In fact, it's behind Superman, Nobody 2, The Bad Guys 2, The Fantastic Four, Freakier Friday, Weapons, and K-pop Demon Hunters. And if Screen Rant gets anything right in this article, it's this statement here. This is a lukewarm result for the movie, though it is only playing in 1,317 screens, which is fewer than all of the wide releases above it on the chart. However, it is an improvement on Drive Away Dolls, which debuted with 2.4 million in 2024, also landing in number 8. So at best, in the 2 outings so far, waiting for the 3rd one, I guess it's 8th place or nothing for Coen. I don't think that means much for this film or anything coming afterwards, other than the fact that they're destined to fall short of expectations, and that's not a good thing. Regardless, we have to take a look at the actual numbers website to get the breakdown for another disappointing box office weekend overall, but a stellar performance for Netflix. In fact, Sony, in this situation, ends up with a lot of egg on their face. As you already know, K-pop Demon Hunters sing-along event is, well, in first place at $18 million. Then you have Weapons in second, which, as I said before, very impressive, over $115 million domestically to the end of this weekend. And Freakier Friday from Walt Disney Pictures for $9.2 million, already below $10 million in its 3rd weekend. A tops of $70 million on a 36% fall will give you the outcome here that Disney may actually make money on this complete garbage film. Oh well. The Fantastic Four First Steps got to another 35% fall, as we mentioned, and $5.9 million overall.
Let's send those disgusting demons back to the depths where they belong!
So it really didn't do much with that $1-point-something million Friday, did it? And at $257.2 million domestically and not quite the same internationally, I don't think the future is good for Fantastic Four or for Marvel overall. Hence, Disney looking to bring the boys back, and yet the boys are tired of being insulted. And I have a video coming up this week that's going to marry 2 concepts and broaden our understanding of just how tied culture is to politics in this country. More so than probably ever stated before. And in 5th place, we have The Bad Guys 2 at a mere $5.1 million. And I'll tell you, if Bad Guys 2 and Fantastic Four First Steps trade places next weekend, this film's done. Nobody 2 still disappoints in its 2nd weekend. I'm afraid that being in 6th is kind of the phase where you fall to the bottom, and at 3,200 theaters, $3.7 million just wasn't doing it. And right now it's only sitting at $16.5 million. It is well short of where it needs to be to just barely break even, and the international numbers are not helping. Superman sticking around in 7th place even after its VOD release is pretty impressive. $3.4 million at $346 million domestic. This gives us high hopes for at least that $600 million this weekend, if not more, overall, because I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And as we mentioned, Honey Don't in 8th. That's not going to do well going forward, and I'm not sure I'd stick with Ethan Coen, I guess. It's wild. Evan Cohen probably okay, I don't know. But The Naked Gun is in 9th at only $47.5 million overall domestic. And finally, the Jurassic World Afterbirth at a mere $335 million domestic, only adding $2.1 million this weekend. Overall, I'd say that K-pop Demon Hunters, well, that was the runaway hit of the weekend, and was surprising at that, because at just a little over $2.4 million in overperformance from the 2nd place Weapons, it tells you that there was so much potential there that Sony absolutely wasted by not releasing this. I think they spent $100 million on it before they sold it to Netflix for like 10 or 20 million. This is a big L, and it also illustrates the fact that maybe, just maybe, streaming is not the right destination for some of these properties. Or, as Netflix will probably spin it, this was always the right way to do it, with over 110 million views to date on this property before it even went into theaters, and earning $11,000 or nearly $11,000 per screen. That's insane. That's better than some of the tent poles did this last summer. And speaking of overall performance, I just want to say that it's very disappointing, because when you scroll down to the bottom of the numbers, which I've done here, you can see that out of these selections, there's an estimated $76 million, almost $77 million that was made in total in the box office as reported now. Those numbers might go up just a little bit on the Monday afternoon actuals, but not by much. And this is the kind of thing that makes the theatrical exhibitors very nervous. This is going to lead into a disappointing winter, I'm almost certain, with only 2 or 3 films as standouts. And that's something exhibitors simply can't afford. For the most part, I'm disappointed in the performance of the weekend, obviously, but I'm very happy for K-pop Demon Hunters, and I'm really happy for Weapons. It's surprising to me that rated R horror is able to stay in a high position in the top 5 for as long as it has, but not as surprising now, because there have been several rated R films that have done extraordinarily well this year, and I think that you're going to start to see some studios rethink some things like budgets, because the costly films are costing them an awful lot, and the mid-budget films are performing well. So, who'd have thunk it? Anyway, that's this weekend's box office, and I think those thoughts, but what are yours? That's right, audience participation time, which I just want to know what you think. Are you excited for K-pop Demon Hunters, as it's a film that you would like to see? Are you excited about where Weapons is and for how long it stayed there? And finally, do you feel bad for Fantastic Four and Disney, or do you think they got what's coming to them? Let me know your thoughts again down in the comments section below. And while you're down there, if you haven't hit the like button already, please do so, and definitely leave me a comment or question in the comments below, because it really does help me. So does that like button. As always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya! Hopefully at a good movie.